どうも成功が読です。第13回コントロール始めていきます。いつも見てくれてる人はありがとう。初めての人もよければ見ていってね。
さ、DLC を進めていこう。ホットラインがお漏らししてたのだよね。そう、ホットラインで。ホットラインということは死んでるのでは？なんだ、故障か。急にホラーみたいな感じになったね。これそんな怖いゲームだった？こんなに物を残して放棄したの？何か起こったんだろうね。一体何が起こったんだ
？Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the bureau. It's not working. Probably a loose power core somewhere. I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.
なんだ。ここに影響するくらいパワーがあるんだね。パワー
Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink. Yippish.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Writing?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen him.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here? Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
外が暗くなってる。昼夜があるのかわからないけど、雰囲気としては夜みたいだね。一体何をしたらよいんだ？あ？明かりを消したらよいの？アランウェイクって敵の弱点が灯りのゲームじゃなかった。確かそんなゲームだったね。明かりを消して大丈夫なの？消せるってことは消せってことなんだよ。
Dr. Amiyu Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came, a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
正解だったみたい。この先、光が弱点の敵が出るのかな？そうかも。
Why did Wake want me to come here? That doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know? This darkness is blocking the door, so now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
なるほどね。ギミックとして登場なのかな？そうかも。
Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
Baby, yeah.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Phaeton.
Reminder, all employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective, and hours passed on alternative planes cannot be claimed. Astral dives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors. Motion detectors in the lobby area. Tripwire, triggering a flash camera across the main entrance, even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best, but mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how exactly. I think this place is made in front of me. That's the only explanation. I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this. Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate. Okay, there we go.
この人助からなかったんだろうな。良くない結末になったんだろうね。
The recording better work this time or I swear to God I'll... What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be obscure. Light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
おっと明るくなったら必須ですか？新しく手に入れた武器だけどどう？正直ロケットと性能が被ってるよ。ロケットが自動爆発で、こっちが手動爆発って感じかな。面白い武器ではあるんだけどね。一箇所に貼り付けて起爆したら、一気にダメージを与えられたりね。ただ操作が忙しいんだよね。レンコンもあんまり生きなさそうだね。そうだね。
I don't feel right. Something in this darkness is draining me. Shit. Now what? What is that?
Powered by hungry darkness.
Come on, elevator, time to go!
Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate.
I can use that.
闇の中だと無敵か。炎もダメみたいだね。これを使うのね。
What are you doing in investigations?
Jesus, don't scare me like that, Winston.
If you're talking right now, I can't hear you. It's a one-way system. Try to find an intercom.
Winston, it's me, Jesse.
I know. I can see you on the monitors. The cameras in there haven't worked since we sealed that sector off a couple years back.
Let me guess. You sealed it because of the monster guy.
Wait, did you see Dr. Hartman? Jesus, I really wish you hadn't opened that fire break. Okay, listen, you need to find Hartman and kill him before he gets out into the Bureau.
That thing is a person?
He was a person. We brought him here to study after he was, altered in an AWE. I forget the medical word for what happened, but now light physically hurts him. Do you have a flashlight?
No.
A lantern? Headlamp? Oh, yeah, flare gun. Oh, Christmas lights. You could wrap them around your...
I don't have any of those, Langston.
Shit. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll keep an eye on you from the panopticon. This is kind of exciting, right?
Maybe from where you're standing.
Right, okay, well, break a leg. Oh, why did I say that?
Okay, this Hartman thing can't have gotten very far. Let's go flush him out. Langston was right. This is kind of exciting.
It's just nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy for wanting to work with altered items. People just don't understand the altered items like I do, you know? I don't want to brag, but it does take a very empathetic mind to connect with the items. Still, I don't know why people are making it so personal.
Right.
I mean, the teams in research handle paranatural materials every day, and no one thinks they're weird. Well, maybe that's not true. Darling is famous for being a bit out there, but when he's weird, it's charming. Altered items really aren't that frightening once you get to know them. If you figure out what they like or don't like, you know, what sets them off, then there's nothing to worry about. I guess at the end of the day, we're still just wild animals scared of our own shadows. We're supposed to be on the same team, but sometimes it feels like it's every department for themselves, like it's a race and we're all trying to be number one. If it is a race, though, I'd say Darling is a mile ahead of everyone else. He was Trench's golden boy for years, but that relationship has gotten pretty tense, or so I've heard through the grapevine. Not that I spread rumors, just, you know, people talk. Not me, though. I keep my nose to the grind. Too much work to do to focus on those kinds of things. I need to stay focused so I can get my work done and get home to feed Alfred.
He's
of course,
just gonna talk forever,
can't always
isn't he?
make it home for mealtime, so I have my neighbor check in on Alfred at 7 o'clock if I'm not back yet. She's very nice. Her name is Maria. She's older. She came to New York in the 50s to attend school and has been here ever since. She has a couple of kids. I met them at Thanksgiving. Big family. Very nice people. Anyway, she has a key to my apartment, and she gives Alfred his dinner if I'm not home. I'm gonna have to buy her a nice fruit arrangement as a thank you after this. I'm missing a lot of Alfred's meal times. She's probably gonna have to go to the store for more wet food. I'll have to remember to pay her back. Hold on, let me make a note. Pay back Maria for Alfred's food. Okay. Oh, one more thing. And buy her a fruit arrangement. All right, done. Are you a cat person? I don't think I ever asked. You seem like one, though. You'd like Alfred. He's very proper. Really carries himself well, you know? I named him after my favorite poet. Felt like a good fit. I got Alfred just before Sylvia died when I was at the... You know, I don't really remember where I got Alfred from. But, boy, those two did not get along. Oh, no. Sylvia thought she owned the place. Didn't like me getting in her way, scratched me more than once when I was just trying to move her food bowl. That cat was a real asshole.
Wow.
I'm realizing now that language was
kinda
not
harsh.
entirely, professional. You see,
話長い
Sylvia
な。
didn't
おしゃべ
tolerate
り好きだ
most
ったんだ
people,
ね。おしゃべりというより自分語り。
or anything. And that's what I meant when I said asshole. I would never use that word about a person. It was just, hey, there's a light flashing on the console here. I got to, check this out. I'll get back to you later.
Real smooth, Langston.
reminder, the law of three also applies to all faucets within the oldest house. Be mindful and don't cause any aquatic misconduct. Thank you for your attention.
ああ、これはまた出てくるパターンですね。ミッション目標にも書かれてるからね。
Lots of dark corners to hide in. Okay, let's get the lights on and clear him out.
その後、同じような作業を繰り返し、ハートマンの追い込み量が続くのであった。
Where's it running off to now?
はいはい。ハートマンいい加減に降伏しなさい。対話できる存在じゃないんだよ。その割には小賢しい逃げ足よ。
You need to get those lights on.
明るくさせるには、
We need a power core.
壁に電源を4つ設置したら良いみたいだね。ああ、塞がれてるのね。
We need another power core. Okay, now where's the switch?
You know, I was in the investigation sector when it was evacuated.
また喋
Well,
り
not
始め
there,
た。せっ
there.
かく
I
だ
was
から
an
おとなし
executive
く聞い
because
てい
they
こ
had
う
the best snap
これ
machine.
も局長の
You
務め
may
か。
think they're all the same because of that plain white packaging, but there's a difference. You know those thick ruffled potato chips? They're my favorite. All the machines outside Executive carry those flimsy little thin chips. They have no texture. I may as well eat cardboard.
He's
Anyway, I
really
get back to the
tackling the
elevator and they tell me the
issues, huh?
sector is being evacuated. They wouldn't even let me go back in for my stuff. Can you believe that? I worked at that desk for years. I had photos on it. My favorite stapler, one of those good ones that could staple a 50-page report, no problem. A little cash, and some, personal recordings. But, yeah, they locked the whole area down tight, no one in or out, and then they march us all back to Executive to interview everyone. I wasn't even there when it happened, and they were asking me if I noticed anything suspicious, if I saw anyone tampering with the containment cell and so on. Well, the only thing they learned was I prefer the ruffled chips to the non-ruffled ones. Better mouthfeel, like I said before. And then, after 3 hours of questions, they recommend we all go for trauma counseling. I was like, no thanks, I have my own therapist. I know I could use the word therapist and save a few bucks, but I worry they're going to put anything I say in a file somewhere. A bit paranoid, I know, but I work for a secret government organization, so yeah. I stopped going a few years back. To my therapist, I mean. She said that a lot of my issues stemmed from a negative outlook. Of course, I can't tell her anything about what I do, so I just had to sit there and nod. I kept waiting for that big aha moment. You know where I realized that my need for approval stems from my dad or something? Turns out therapy doesn't work like that, so I stopped going. TV really gives you a skewed understanding of these kind of things. She did help me realize that I'm processing stress in an unhealthy way. I try not to carry all that around with me anymore, but it does stack up. Hard to just say no thank you to the anxiety buzzing in your head. One really helpful thing she had me do was find a creative outlet. I started doing some experimental music/poetry that I think was really ahead of its time. This was years back. I'm cooking up some pretty new sounds these days. Think My Bleeding Clock meets Sylvia Plath. Do you play any instruments?
Curious.
I could see you being a guitarist, maybe a bassist. It's funny, I played the tuba in high school band. My favorite was In the Hall of the Mountain King. Tuba didn't get a lot of spotlight in most of the songs Mrs. McKinley chose, but Mountain King was my time to shine. Bum 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 bum. Ah, classic. I've moved on to less mainstream instruments now, but the tuba will always be a part of me. What were we talking about before? Right, the evacuation. Yeah, I heard afterward that the Hartman specimen had gotten loose and killed some staff. They had me digitizing records in some dark corner of the sector, so I didn't know a whole lot about the Bright Falls investigation at the time. It's a strange case. Most AWEs are one and done, but Bright Falls has pretty regular flare-ups. 3 incidents since 1970 when we first started tracking it. I got really interested when I heard Alan Wake was involved with the latest occurrence. I'm a huge Wake fan. I love the Alex Casey novels. That over-the-top hard-boiled detective thing is right up my alley. They're making a movie of the series, but the guy who plays Casey doesn't have enough gravel in his voice, you know? I remember being so pissed when Wake killed off Casey in the books. It's not a huge surprise, though. Wake sounded like a bit of a dick. Drank too much, fought paparazzi. The tabloids even said he was an abusive husband, so yeah, troubled artist and all that. Apparently, there were chapters of an unfinished manuscript floating around after Wake disappeared. People say they're cursed, which is a very discriminatory term against altered materials, by the way. The forums all call the unfinished book Departure because Wake kept saying it would be a departure from his previous work. I found some pages that are supposedly the real deal on the internet. It's pretty dark stuff. He was going full horror, which makes sense since he used to write for Night Springs, but I would have preferred if he did something a little lighter. I've always said Wake had a great instinct for humor. Hey, did you know we own Night Springs? Yeah, the Bureau bought the rights after the original series ended. I've sent some story suggestions to the production team, but apparently they are not accepting pitches at this time. Typical. I'd be a great addition to their team, right? Huh. I didn't see you nod. Is this thing not on? Let me check.
It's definitely on.
Okay. Oh, the wire's down here. Huh. Oh, it looks like it should be working. Hello? If you can hear me, shoot something.
聞こえてる聞こえてる。聞いてもらってないと不満なんだね。彼は職場で嫌われてるんじゃないかな。局長は心配だよ。私は彼のこと好きじゃないよ。本人には言わないようにね。
This is a good opportunity to use a restroom anyway. Stay safe, ma'am. You guys are going to escort me, right? Okay, good.
せっかく持ってきたのに。ここは光に沿って進むのかな。どんどん光が消えていくみたい。追われる系か。私、追われるのは苦手なのに、サクサクつまらないように進まないとね。 意外と短くてよかった。
Okay, I'm just going to freestyle a bit. My mother always said, never talk to strangers.
Looks like whatever force had a hold on Hartman isn't mixing well with his corruption.
Always.
Lake did call him the third thing.
But isn't a stranger just someone you don't know? What if the only thing stopping a stranger from being a friend is that word? Stranger. Strange. Strange like the noises you hear at night when there is no light and you cannot fight. Strange like a rubber duck that follows you around and makes you drop your coffee every time that it quacks because the noise scares you. Then you have to clean up the coffee while the duck stares at you and continues to quack, 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 quack.
見えてるんだけどな。諦めて突入しよう。ここが最後の戦いのステージかな。サクッと倒せると良いね。いや、ここもギミックを解く感じ。そうなると戦いはまだ先だね。まったく。どれだけ逃げれば気が済むんだ。せめて標準装備にライトがあればよかったね。そうすれば追い詰められたんだけどね。ライトじゃなくてもフレアガンでも良いよ。闇の中にいたら掴み攻撃してくるみたいだね。今まで逃げ切ってきたから知らなかったよ。
この後悲しい事故が発生してやり直すことになるよ。
よし、これであの電源も取れる。ようやく先に進めるね。進んでも逃げられるんだろうけどね。おのれ。あら、電源は？
この後電源は行方不明になったのでした。今回はここまで。最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございます。よければチャンネル登録と評価をお願いします。それではまた次回。
There. One less place for him to hide.